You're listening to the world of business and taxes with Mike Lodge, keeping you informed. So let's get started.
And welcome to another WBT podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Lodge & Company, a business and tax advisory firm. And if you want to know more about us, just go to www.lodge-co.com and you can find out what we do and what we can do for you. So, in today's podcast, I wanted to talk about legal issues of starting a new business or even a new project, okay? And it's very important that everyone that is thinking about designing a new program or providing a new service or providing a new type of business venture all need to sit down and talk to two people, and that's their attorney and an accountant. And I was thinking about this a lot over the weekend because I sat down with my friends at lunchtime, and one of my friends is a programmer, project manager, and she's right now working for the federal government, who is putting together a process, a software process, where medication in the mental health side of healthcare is being developed so that they can manage and populate, and everybody can look at the same information, and et cetera, et cetera. But one of the issues that came up, and it's been a year now into this project, is, and she sat down because she's been out in the public field for so long, is who has the legal risk in this? And they all looked at her like, all the project managers and developers and everybody sat there and looked at it and said, "What do you mean who has the legal risk?" Well, yeah, I mean, we have to look at the legal risk because we're developing a process that populates and provides information on the patient and all the users out there. So who has the legal responsibility if anything goes wrong? And they all looked at it like in shock. Well, why would we have to do that? Well, because you're dealing with human life. And with human life, there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of legal issues that you have to consider. Does a user who is sitting there and typing in, okay, I need XYZ medication, and let's say that doesn't populate, so the rest of the groups don't know what that person is using, and other things are added into there by another user because he doesn't see what the first user added in, and it does something to the patient and maybe even kill the patient, that's legal risk, and who is responsible for that? And so as you sit there working on this software or working on this project, you have to take that into consideration right up front. Otherwise, you open up the whole group for legal recourse. Now you might think, well, I'm working for the federal government, I don't really have to. Yeah, you do, because the federal government will be sued, and tax dollars will have to be used to settle those cases. And they are multi-million-dollar cases. So, when you sit down with your attorney, when you're first developing some software or whatever you're developing, make sure that you look at what is my legal risk. And then ask your accountant, what is my tax and accounting risk? If one thing goes wrong through the process and the costs change, what is my accounting risk? And then what is my tax risk if I have to deal with sales and use taxes, if I have to deal with property taxes, if I have to deal with depreciation, if I have to, and the list goes on. What is my risk and how can I minimize that risk? So the next time, or even today, when you're sitting down and looking at what you're working on, have you asked yourself, what is my legal risk. That's the biggest one. You would hate to be working along on a project and get it all completed, and then all of a sudden you find out that you missed a process where there's a lot of legal risk. And it just takes one lawsuit that can wipe out and destroy whatever you've worked on. What is your legal risk? What is your accounting and tax risk? So I encourage you, if you're working, if you're developing, if you are part of a project team, ask that question. Don't hesitate. Do it because it's vital. If you want to see this blog, you can go to www.wbtpod.com and you can go to my blog and it's right in there on this subject today. If you have any questions, you can call us at the office, which is 877-778-1770, or send me an email at mlodge@lodge-co.com. That's it for today. Have a great day. Remember, legal risk.
This podcast is brought to you by the real estate firm that works for you. Castle Lodge Realty Group has highly trained real estate professionals to help you buy or sell a home. Professionals that know the real estate market and will find the right property for you. Call Amy Simone at 818-636-6804. The broker in charge. It's time to go home with Castle Lodge Realty Group, serving all of Southern California.
Thank you for listening. Join us again tomorrow.
Stay informed with the world of business and taxes with Mike Lodge.
Have a great day.